Things will never be like the original. Like, I don't care. Like,
Hey yo, Eeze.
Yo, what's the deal, fam? Morning walk, morning coffee. Let's have a brief discussion. We got to make up our mind, man. I'm seeing some mixed reviews, which is perfectly fine. I'm never here to try to convince you to like anything. But some of the comments that I'm reading don't really make sense to me. First of all, he should have never named it Supreme Clientele 2 if it was going to be this. Fam, a lot of us attach album titles to just music, right? Maybe he named it that because he was feeling as energetic as he did back then. I'll put Ghostface's analysis concerning this situation at the end of the video. Sometimes we gotta think outside the box in a sense. Because when we say certain things, you know, it's like we're nitpicking in a sense. Like, I don't like the album cover. That's cool. And I understand that for someone who makes beats, when you go vinyl shopping, a lot of times you may not know the session musicians on an album, or you may not be familiar with the artist. So a dope album cover would be an incentive to purchase that vinyl, and you can find some dope samples. I get it. But on the flip, I don't like Nas and Hit Boy's KD3 album cover. But could you imagine if I never pressed play or didn't give it a fair shot because of that? I would have played myself and missed out. Another huge complaint, RZA's not involved. In what capacity? You wanted him to be an arranger again? I can get that. But I'm reading a lot of comments about RZA's production was missing. Check this out. A lot of you complain about RZA not being on the solo projects, right? But on the flip, the same individuals complain about RZA's production on the Wu Tang albums after Wu Tang Forever. So make that make sense. You want RZA's production on this album, and a lot of you haven't been digging his production in well over almost 30 years. This is not a Wu album. It's a Ghostface album. Ghostface is a free spirit. He does what he wants to do. He's completely authentic. He's a music head. He takes it serious. Not liking an album is perfectly fine. It is. I get that. Got a lot of them I don't like. But constructive criticism includes giving a possible solution. What don't you like? The sequencing? Perhaps the mix? The mastering? I don't know, the sonic quality? And also, we can't think of this situation in a vacuum. This is 25 years, a quarter of a century after the initial album dropped. The recording process has even changed. For instance, back then, everybody was in the studio pretty much recording together or in the same room. May not be there at the same time. I come through, you do your verse, you gotta go, next person come and do their verse. Nowadays, you got dudes emailing joints left and right. The only person that seems to be doing things the old-fashioned way is Dr. Dre. He'll cover those expenses, got his own studio, state-of-the-art, probably flying dudes out, putting them up in hotel rooms and stuff like that. The recording process has changed. You got 3 or 4 different engineers on one song. And I get it. I get it. But Wu-Tang historically has always done things the DIY way. You know what I'm saying? Do it yourself. So I'm not really understanding that portion either. And another thing I want to talk about is sequels and, you know, people's expectations. It took this man 25 years to do a sequel. This is why I said in the other video yesterday that artists doing sequel albums are setting themselves up because you can't ever really meet those expectations. Now, I commend anyone for not letting fear stunt their artistry or creativity, but sometimes the fans are stuck back then and they act as though it's so easy to make a sequel album or to, I don't know, take all those elements and recreate them. It's not. If that's the case, we would get sequel albums all the time. We would be on Supreme Clientele 5. But like I stated in the beginning of the video, the sequel may not be based upon the music itself, because Supreme Clientele, the first one, is one of the best sequence albums ever. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing, just the sequencing, not the songs probably, just the sequencing, which plays a huge part. But that's probably not where he is musically anymore. Supreme Clientele is probably a feeling to him now. Probably felt as youthful and energetic as he did back then. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not trying to force y'all to like anything, because that's your opinion, those are your ears, but I feel like a lot of people press play, and before they heard anything, they already had in their mind they weren't gonna like it. Like, to even be stubborn enough to believe that Rap Kingpin doesn't sound better within the sequence of the album is totally disingenuous. I ain't saying I'm not even getting into classic talk, giving it a mic rating, but to act like it's complete trash, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. It's a solid album. And I'm gonna continue to play it. There's some joints on here I absolutely like a lot. Can't hold that against him, because if he named it something else, that means you would like it. That's not even a genuine take. A title was stopping you from liking something, or had he named it Pretty Tony Part 2, you will be okay with it, and now your ears will be receptive to the music that you're hearing? Nah, the problem is you're pressing play and comparing it to the original without even hearing it and listening first. To think that this was gonna be better than the original is not even, who thought that? That's why the comparison doesn't make any sense, because to think that he was gonna be able to get back into that vein of recording, have lightning strike twice, 25 years later, you took away from your own experience. I'm totally open to critique of artists and things of that nature, but I'm finding that a lot of people's critiques are based upon things that can't be changed, or times have changed. For instance, if I talk about DJ Premier's Sonics, he can get back to that. I'm not telling him how to do beats. That's never the complaint. It's the sonic quality. Some of you are asking Ghostface to recreate Supreme Clientele. You want the same, first of all, no one has really said what they wanted, but I'm just gonna throw some things out there. You want the direction, right? You want RZA involved, but you're not really digging RZA's production. That's already a lose-lose situation for him. Dudes are not in the same studio anymore recording the way they once did, emailing files left and right. So now you're asking him to have an astronomical budget to take away people's possible shows and pay them and alleviate their cost, because they could possibly have a show or be on tour at the same time. You want them to come in and record. So you want them to come in town, record in your studio with you, put them in hotels, foot their bill, have an engineer on call. We talking about Nas here, we talking about Raekwon, we talking about Method Man, we talking about RZA, we talking about Styles P. We talking about people who actually be on the road getting this money, who have business ventures and things going on. This is not 25, 27 years ago, fam. I'm just being honest with y'all, man. We can't think of everything in a vacuum. He was never gonna be able to recreate Supreme Clientele 2. And I know what you're about to say, the same old thing. Well, he should have never named it that. You should have never had the expectation. He named it that. We don't know why. We don't know why. But the things that you're looking for, he cannot recreate. You can't. Listen, that's just my take on the situation. Let me know what you think in the comment section, man. As always, you can achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest, man. It's your man Eeze at the Eeze Experience. I appreciate you. Go get yours. Yeah.
Things will never be like the original. Like, I don't care. And then growth and development is like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Things is 25 years different than what it was 25 years ago. So things ain't the same. Like, you know, but you got to make the best of what you could try to deal with like right now to try to compete with back then. You know what I mean? And that's what I just tried to do.
Hey yo, Eeze.